Columbus, New Mexico, a town of roughly 1,800 people that sits along the U.S.-Mexico border.
There's a lot of interaction because of the school children. 800 kids come across a day. That forces some interaction.
Nos despertamos como 6:30, 7 de la mañana, porque según estamos tomando el tiempo. En este tiempo se lava su cara, se cambia, la peino.
Jadine is 9 years old and lives in Palomas, Mexico. Every morning, her mother, Patty, walks her to the border.
Y ya nos vamos al puente, cruza el puente, se sube al bus. Es una rutina constante los 5 días de la semana. Thank you.
It's a way of life for most people here.
Sí.
American kids living in Mexico, crossing the border daily to go to school in the U.S.
Sí he escuchado comentarios respecto a eso, puesto que por impuestos y que por todo lo que ellos viven en los Estados Unidos, y dicen, ¿por qué viene alguien de México y nada más viene a la escuela o viene a agarrar becas? Pero precisamente porque su derecho tiene que estudiar en el país donde nació.
First and foremost, they're U.S. citizens. I would imagine 99% of them will eventually end up living in the United States, as you would expect a U.S. citizen to do. And those parents are aware of that, and I think they want their children to learn English, to be assimilated into this culture.
Good job. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is life for them. Our children experience things that most children don't. They live in one land and come over here to school, and living in two different countries, it takes some adjusting for them, but they come to school every day with a happy heart. We do our best to build relationships with kids. And the more we build those relationships with students, the better the outcome at the end.
Before a few years ago, there was no clinic in Palomas. There's no hospital there, but there was no clinic or anything. And so if a mother got ready to deliver, the closest hospital was Deming. If they came to the border, even today, and if you come to the border and declare a medical emergency, the U.S. will let you in, and the Village of Columbus will transport you to the hospital in Deming.
Marta works in Palomas, but gave birth to a daughter in the U.S. 8 years ago.
Pues sí, le dije, naciste con la gran suerte de nacer allá, le dije, no fue planeado, ¿verdad? Le digo, y pues gracias a Dios eres de allá, le digo.
We don't see as many ladies coming across giving birth anymore. It really has to be something that they can't handle down there. Even today, if there's a severe car accident or a more of a trauma type case, we'll transport them up to Deming.
It's been this way for over 40 years. Many here are accepting. Some are not.
Totally against it. Totally against it. Reason being is we pay the taxes here, we feed them, and I'm not racist, but we feed them, and we're paying for their school. They're going to get Social Security. They get the hospitalization. They get Medicare right away for free. For free. We have to pay for ours.
First of all, the children, they were born in the United States, so they are U.S. citizens. Second of all, right now, their parents are not paying taxes in the United States. Taxpayer dollars are being used to educate those kids. If you look at it in the short term, you can say it's a drain on our system. But if you look at the fact that somewhere between 95 and 100% of those kids are going to end up living in the United States as adults, I want to make sure that they're employable, that they can get a job, they can pay taxes, they can contribute.
Everybody working with your table, 2 minutes.
Ese niño, el día que llega a su mayoría de edad, va a seguir estudiando o va a trabajar en su país, y él también va a pagar impuestos y va a tener las normas y las reglas que su país requiere.
Jadine says she plans to live in the U.S. and pursue a career in education. She wants to be a teacher.
JD?
What the story is mostly about?
If we don't educate them at this point, and we know they're going to live in the United States, there's a high probability that they're not going to learn English. They're either going to have very low-paying jobs, or they're not going to be employable, which means they're going to be on unemployment, they're going to be on subsistence, they're going to be on food stamps, they're going to be all the things. That would be a significant greater drain on our system than what we're putting in right now. We're spending about $6,000 per pupil. If you look at the government programs, there's a lot of families that are receiving $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a year in subsidies. I would much rather pay the $6,000 now and avoid paying that in the future.
That is true. That's true. His statement was true about that. It's true about that. I mean, I can't argue with that one. You know, and I always never been racist or prejudiced. But it's really hard when I'm driving an older truck and counting my pennies.
Legislative, what were they in charge of? Luis?
Make laws.
Making the laws. Very good. How about another branch of
Our country was established on opportunity. And that's the one thing we provide for our kids. We're giving them the opportunity to be successful in the country where they were born. And we're just got to give them the tools to reach those levels of success, and to give them those tools to feel like if they can be anything they want to be. And if there was any type of naysayer, I would definitely do my best to talk to them and make them understand that the bigger picture is for the future and to make our country even stronger.
Cuando los hijos están relacionados con dos países, si son totalmente bilingües, yo pienso que si tienen mucha capacidad a agarrar un buen trabajo y a desenvolverse mejor, puesto que va a hablar dos idiomas.
Can you only imagine that? I mean, a mother who cannot cross, the parents cannot cross because they're not U.S. citizens, and they take them and they send them over to us through U.S. Customs, and then we receive them on this side. We do a good job of that. We take a lot of pride in that.
It's something that makes me feel proud as the principal here to know that they entrust us with their treasures, you know, and that's the way I see each and every child here at the school. It's you know, the way I see my personal children. Those are my treasures that I'm entrusting to an elementary school or to the high school, and I feel the same way when they're, and even more so, crossing that international border. They know that when they come over here that they can trust us to provide them with what they need.
Across the border in Palomas, Marta gets emotional when she thinks about what she wants for her daughter.
Lo mejor, una vida bien, que salga adelante. Pues que cumpla sus sueños sobre todo.
I'm proud to be their mayor, and you know, the older I get, the more emotional I get. Anyway, I'm proud to be their mayor, and I feel that I need to serve them, I need to love them.
¿Cómo te fue? ¿Bien? No, vete aquí. Okay. ¿A qué hora llegaste, hija? ¿Acabas de bajar? Sí. Ahora, el americano que está en descontento, que tenga paciencia porque en un futuro, tanto el estudiante que está creciendo en México pero que va a Estados Unidos, él también va a tener que cubrir todas las reglas que su país requiere y a pagar impuestos y a llevar todo el mandato de lo que un presidente y un país requiere. Que nos den la oportunidad, porque si no saben la vida de otros países o de cómo se va relacionando el que está estudiando en Estados Unidos pero vive en México, tienen que darse la oportunidad de conocer cuál es la situación de cada quien.